Good evening, my dear comrades. Today we are discussing an issue of international importance for India as well as the whole world. Two issues I am referring to is, one is Quad and the other is Aukus. Quad spelling Q-U-A-D, Aukus spelling A-U-K-U-S. The US President Joe Biden, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison signed an agreement called Aukus. They said it is for stability and peace in the Indo-Pacific region. But it is a very strategic partnership. There were mixed reactions on this agreement. The famous Australian writer, Professor Hugh White, on 2021 said that AUKUS is a dangerous pact. It is an issue. In this issue, there is a shift in the Australian policy. After 1 week, the Quad meeting took place. The US, Australia, India, and Japan are members of this pact. They say it is a ordinary pact, but political pundit says it is a military pact. But they are openly refuses to admit it openly. They say it is only a joint partnership. The four countries say, including India, says that it is only a joint partnership. The Quad meeting recently met. They discussed the issue of Afghanistan. They discussed about how to arrest or contain terrorism in the world. It is strange that United States, which nourishes terrorism, is discussing how to arrest terrorism. Strictly speaking, America is one of the countries in the world which is encouraging, nourishing, cultivating terrorist activities to establish their own regimes in the concerned part of the country, part of the world. Therefore, when America says that they are trying to contain terrorism, it is not correct. This is one thing you have to understand. The next issue they discussed was supply of corona vaccines to the poorer countries. The American pharmaceutical companies has produced more vaccines, more than what is needed. But they are not supplying to the needy countries, needy poor countries. These companies wanted to make profit out of that. The Quad Summit also decided to take a uniform position in the environmental meet. The United States want to include environment issue under the periphery of Quad. America's real agenda is to bring an alliance against China's Belt Road Initiative. You know that the Chinese initiative of Belt Road Initiative has been accepted by many countries in the world. They are members of that arrangement, and all kind of financial assistance are being done through them. Many countries in the world, especially from Africa and South America, are utilizing the facility of this Belt Road Initiative initiated by China. When the Quad first formed, it was told that it is a diplomatic alliance. But military rehearsals of Quad countries are taking place in different parts of India, America, and the Indo-Pacific Sea also. Actually, this pact is meant against China. What is the purpose of this agreement? If you properly look into the member country's name, except India, no other country is having a border with China. America doesn't have a border. Australia doesn't have a border. Japan doesn't have a border. Only India is having a border with China. So protecting those countries against China is not a logical argument. Rather, China is developing in the world as an important economic country. Their development is astronomical. They are developing their economy in a geometrical progression. The people, the Americans and the imperialist countries wanted to arrest it. They wanted to divert the attention of the Chinese government for a military confrontation with other countries. This is the real purpose of Quad. Then what is Aukus? It is a military alliance against China. America is not ready to accommodate India or Japan in this pact. They have no confidence over India or Japan. Only 3 countries are included in the Aukus. Remember, they are all English-speaking countries. That is in America, Australia, and Britain. What does it mean? In dealing with China, in facing the onslaught of China, Americans have no belief or confidence with any of the Asian countries. Not only India, Japan, or Australia for that matter. So you can understand the content and the attitude of American, this pact, namely Aukus, in this fashion. We cannot rule out military alliance consist of India and Japan upholding their nationality feelings. There is every possibility that in Asian countries like India and Japan may be going forward for some arrangements in the Asian countries like Japan, India, Australia, like that. So in this agreement, Aukus, America is not ready to believe or not prepared to take into confidence the Asian population, the Asian countries. There were huge protests. Because of this attitude of the America, there were huge protests from New Zealand, from European Union against this formation, the formation of Aukus. France called back its ambassadors from US and Australia. France, please note the point. France, as a protest, called back its ambassadors from US and Australia. The French minister said it was the most unkindest act on European countries. The NATO and European Union countries have grudged over America for keeping them dark on the Afghan development recently happened. European Union got frustrated and decided to form an Indo-Pacific military pact exclusively for their own benefit. French President Emmanuel Macron reacted angrily on this. He said, during 1960s, General de Gaulle asked America to close all their military bases in France. It was a protest. General de Gaulle, the then president of France, protested and warned America and asked America to withdraw all the institutions in France. Why America avoided NATO members except Britain? Americans have doubt how far these countries will cooperate with America when they move against China. This is the problem. US avoided India and Japan, maybe due to their regional position. Regional position means they are very near to China. That's the position. What will be the attitude of India towards this new fact? Nobody knows. The Indian government is yet to react on this issue. But the United States sees India. But the United States sees India as a secondary country in the China-US Cold War. It means it is not a believable partner in dealing with China. The Aukus was after a series of discussions. That means before forming the Aukus or pact, there were 18 months discussion in a secret manner. Secretly they discussed it. For 18 months. It is considered as a violation of this Aukus is considered as a violation of anti-atomic weapons agreement. In 1980s, when Britain and France tried to sell atomic submarines, America stopped it. But now, America is sending submarines to Australia. America is trying to convert Australia as an atomic power. For this, needs permission from the IAEA. America is trying to convert Australia as an atomic partner of America. For this, needs permission from IAEA. But America is doing all these things unilaterally. It means America does not count or consider AES direction or guideline. The CNN military correspondent says that the threat to the world is from China. Who says? The CNN military correspondent. But he himself says there is no such development today. That is, from the Chinese side, there is no initiative. For Australia, the biggest business partner is China. That is more than what China is having with United States or Britain. Why do you need a military pact like Aukus when there is no problem in dealing with China? The Australian PM says that there will be an increase in the military expenditure after this Aukus agreement. Expenditure to the tune of 27,000 crore dollars. America is doing an anti-China campaign from the Australian Institute, namely Australian Strange Policy Institute, ASPI. The US is giving all kind of finance to this institution. ASPI have opened an office at Washington also. Even the Americans are not taking this campaign seriously. Even the American people, the American political people, have not taken these comments seriously. After Soviet setback, they formed what is called a capitalist bloc and a socialist bloc. The world became bipolar. When Soviet Union collapsed, the world became unipolar. America was the sole agent or supervisor of the whole world. It became a unipolar world. American supremacy and its exploitation has increased on a geometrical progression. After this downfall of Soviet Union, the world became a unipolar world, and its exploitation has increased. His supremacy over world affairs has increased on a geometrical progression. The developments in Yugoslavia, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya are classical examples of the attitude of America towards these third world countries. My dear friends, these agreements are nothing but aiming against China. China is becoming a very, very powerful country in the world economically and militarily. They have even made experiments in the space. Chinese people, Chinese astronauts. Now, after Russia and America, China is the biggest country in the world to do experiments in space. So they are on par with any other country in the world if you compare it economically, militarily, or scientific advancement. Therefore, this agreement is meant for, these two agreements is meant for to counter China, to create public opinion, world opinion against China. This is what I want to tell you from it. Thank you.